So this is going to be a very long video because it has multiple chapters, then 2 in it. So yeah, and sorry for my rambling if I do have it. But this video I would like to ask for suggestions because I feel like writing it and I don't think many people like Demon Slayer, so I'm asking for you guys to give me any fandom, well, My Hero Academia or Demon Slayer to write. And I will give a shout out to the person that I write for, or multiple people. So please and thank you. I'm in a writing mood and I want something really badly. So please give me give me like the person X blank listener and I'll do it for you. So thank you and hope you guys enjoy. Your POV. It's been 2 days since we came here. Nimizumi had been given more freedom than I had been given. She was able to go outside, which I haven't. I've been stuck in this room that is connected to Nimuzumi's. I had things to do, but it might get boring soon. What I don't like is that we have been given fancy clothing, which felt like I was in a fantasy book or one of those history fancy ladies of the higher class. That's when the door opened and Nimizumi ran towards me. She had been crying, which worried me. Nimizumi, what's wrong? I asked, brushing through her hair. I was playing with one of the men came in with a creepy thing, she said, not trying to cry. I knew that she was referring to Shigaraki and one of those Nomus that stayed by his side. Nimizumi, did he do anything to you? I asked, making her look at me. No, Mama. He just looked at me like he wanted to kill me, she said, starting to get up on the bed, then laying her head on my lap. Nimizumi, at least he didn't hurt you. I would be so sad if you were hurt, I said, brushing through her hair. Then, knocking on the door had occurred. Walking in was Deku, with a smile. Hello, Yin. Oh, good, Nimizumi got here fine and safe, he said, walking in more. Who gave you the permission to come in? Was all I said. I wanted nothing to do with him. He threatened to hurt Nimizumi, his child. Oh, Yin, don't be like that. Oh, and I came here to say that you are free to leave this room, but aren't allowed to go outside. The doors and windows are locked and can't be broken, he said, smiling at us. Nimizumi had been shaking a bit. Well, and Nimizumi, of course, he said, turning around and leaving the room, which she had already been allowed to, but I don't know why he's saying that. Mama, what? Oh, God. Now that you're able to leave this room, can you come with me to the library? She smiled at me. One thing I didn't know, that the quote-unquote mansion had a library. How big is this house? I giggled out as I tickled Nimizumi. Big. It's big, Mama, she said, taking her hands into the air. Oh my, I gasped, making her laugh again. There's also a garden, Nimizumi said as she walked towards the door. She opened the door and, wow, she was right. This place did look big. Making our way to what I think Nimizumi said the library, the doors to it were big, like all the other ones. Opening it, and it was certainly many books, all sizes and shapes. I can't be going insane, right? How could the League afford all of this? An island on a house? How the heck? Mama, come. Nimizumi pulled me into my favorite book type. Seeing that made me want to read all of them, but I didn't want Deku to think that I was liking this new change. For certain, I didn't. I wanted to be with my friends, my family, and well, this dress is fucking itchy as shit. My tail gets caught on this fancy clothing. It hurts so much. Sitting, walking, and even standing hurts. Now, sitting in a chair in the library, Numizumi brought me a book, and it was Spider Lily, one of the books I had before this stupid plan occurred. Now that I'm thinking back, it was dumb, because he's insane. I hope he doesn't hurt me or Numizumi. Then the door opened, and a man came in and said, Miss Yin, please come with me. Deku wishes to see you, he said, then getting Numizumi to stay, and the man guided me to where I was supposed to go. The man opened the door, and I went in, and then the man shut the door. Good evening. I hope you are enjoying the house, he said, smiling at me. Then getting up from his chair towards me, holding me by my waist, and then started to kiss me. Oh, look at you, beautiful, he said, giggling, then kissing my neck. Oh, God, I semi-hated this. This light touch of his lips against my collarbone felt weird, but nice. I hated how he acted like nothing had happened. Just thinking about it makes me mad. Hey, Deku, I yelled out as he picked me up and sat me on the table, and then said, You don't call me that. He said, holding my chin, You call me Izuku. You don't get to change how you call me, he said, then kissing me again. I knew this would get heated if I didn't do something quick. That's when I pushed away, still on the table, and him backed up. This isn't right, I started to cry. You hurt me, and you did things that shouldn't have happened. You can still be a hero if you just... I said, then I was cut off. You don't get to say that. You were destined to be a hero. I was born with nothing. You had everything, both you and Bakugo. He said, pinning me down on the table. Why don't you just sit there and be a good girl and not complain? And if you do, I'll kill your entire class, he said, holding me down. That's when he started to kiss me again. I hated this, but I don't want my friends to die, so I have to behave, or else. A New Dawn. Your POV. Waking up with Numizumi, she had been hugging my waist. Did she have a nightmare again? I'll have to ask her when she wakes up. Mama, she woke up, her eyes still lightly open. Yes, sweetie, I asked her as she had gone up. What did Meanie Man want from you? She asked as I sat up with her in my arms. Then I had gone up from my bed and opened the door to the bathroom that connected our rooms together. Now, what should we put you in today? I asked, sitting her on a chair next to her bed. I don't want to wear those big, frilly, stupid dresses, she said, puffing her cheeks out and crossing her arms. I sighed. If I have to do, then so do you, I said, not wanting to make Numizumi mad at me, even if she was just mad at Izu. Hey, Mommy, why can't I read those books you read at the old house? She said, now looking at me. Numizumi, you'll learn when you're older, I said, finding something she might like. Okay, what about this? I asked, turning to her. It had been a simple light yellow dress with a collar and little frills. It's not big, and it should not be itchy, I said, walking towards her. That's when the door opened. Izu walked in and stopped by the open door. Good morning, love, and my little baby, he said, smiling. What do you want? I asked him, as Numizumi ran to hide behind me. Don't be mean, Yin, he said, tilting his head to the side in anger. I knew if I played my cards right and kept Numizumi in the room, it wouldn't be hell for me. As I told of what Izuku had spoken. Numizumi, can you please leave? Don't, Numizumi, I ordered. She was confused on who she should listen to, a man who could hurt her or her mother who she loved. Numizumi, please listen to me. I won't hurt her, he said, crouching to her level. Yes, that doesn't sound suspicious. Numizumi, leave or I'm going to have to make you, he said, looking at her like he was actually going to kill her. That's when Nimizumi looked at me. I sighed and said something that could change the outcome either way. Listen to him, Nimizumi. Go play, I said, smiling to make her sure she didn't feel scared. Then she ran out of the room. Finally, just us, he said, hugging me, more of holding me by the waist. What do you want? I said, not wanting to hug back. Just wanted to see you, he said, putting his head on the crook of my neck. Yeah, right. What do you really want? I said, pushing away. God, I thought you would play nicely since you couldn't leave. But good thing that our plan is going right, as we hoped, he giggled. What do you mean? I asked. Oh, well, we are planning on controlling Japan, and well, then the whole world, he said, smiling sadistically. He's gotten mad. But no worries, Yin. I'll bring your parents here so they can live without being in torture, he said, holding my chin by his index finger, and then started to kiss me. Nimizumi's POV. Mommy has been in our room for some time. I wonder what Meanie Man wanted from her. I'm done waiting outside. I'm gonna go play. That's when I ran to the hall, which was really big entrance to the place. Then he was there too. The Meanie Man called Shigaraki. I did not like him. He was always with that monster called Nomu. They were supposed to be guards of some sorts, I think. That's when he spoke to me. Oh, you. That scared me. He looked like before I ran out of my room. So if I'm right, you're smart for your age. What did Deku tell me how old you were? He said, I'm 2 years. I said, I don't remember if I am or not, though. Well, you're something else, aren't you? He said, putting his hand on his chin. He's weird. What does he mean by I'm something else? Oi, you should be nicer to her for what she's going to be, said a girl walking into the room by the man, Shigaraki. Who is she? Hey, sweetie, wondering who I am? She asked. Can she see my thoughts? You're a little cutie pie, aren't you? She said. Now she was behind me. I turned to see her. How'd she do that? Quirk, sweetheart, if you're wondering, she said once more. Huh? How? I asked, terrifying. How can she read my thoughts? And how did she get behind me so quickly? Wait, you look very familiar, she said, then continued. Is your mother Yin Lin, or what Deku says, Yin Midoriya? She said, yes, and she's not Midoriya. I spat. So the little prince is a liar, she said, putting her hand on her hips. Don't get too talkative with her, Shigaraki spat. I swear I was in the crossfire. Is that the word that Mama uses? I think. Well, little miss, where's your mommy? She asked. With Meanie Man, I said. Oh, then he's having fun, she giggled. Years. The mysterious lady's POV, which, if you remember, she is the person who was question mark's POV. So if you remember her, well, she's now in. I opened the door to see Deku getting close to Yin. Good, I'm ruining this moment. So it looks like you're happy with her, aren't you? I asked. Get out. He spat, not looking at me. Good job, Yin. Whatever you did, you made my job harder. Sorry, but I'm here to talk to the miss, I said, bowing. That little brat didn't move till the child came in. When she did, he walked out. Mama, the little girl called out for Yin. That's when she fell to the floor to embrace the little girl. "Nimizumi, are you all right?" she asked, checking her face. That's when she looked at me. "You weren't here to hurt us, right?" she asked, holding Nimizumi on the back of her head as she hugged her mother. "No, I'm a mere messenger. You could say I don't belong here, and you could say that I have been in other places I shouldn't." I smiled. She looked at me like I was crazy. "Well, it's the truth. I don't belong in Japan," I giggled out. "I should be in the U.S., but I've been called here for the dear Deku," I said. "For what? I'm getting is that you were sent here to work for him?" she said. "Yes, indeed. But here's the thing. I don't agree with their ideal world," I spoke out. "So what?" she asked. "Well, nothing," I giggled out, then said, "Well, see, if I took you away, well, say goodbye to Yue, and if I try to kill him, well, also say goodbye to Yue, and if I kill you and Nimizumi." At that, they flinched. "No worries, I won't. But that would also mean goodbye to Yue, because of the League and Deku's plan, and also for how crazy that they are," I finished. "I don't know if I should trust you," Yin spoke out in worry. "Ooh, I realized you were a little kitty," I said now behind her. She yelped. "How'd you do that?" she asked. "My quirk, sweetie. I can turn myself into butterflies and basically split myself into multiple butterflies. And within these forms, I can hear everything," I chuckled. "If you want, miss, I can leave you alone," I said. "Please, that would be nice." I had been walking towards the door when I said, "The League, be careful. When Nimizumi is older, don't let her use her quirk, or it will become a never-ending hell," I said. "Your POV." "She's gone, Nimizumi," I said, patting her little head. She lifted her head. She looked like she was going to cry. It was weird for what she had said. What does she mean by Nimizumi will have a quirk that'll be more powerful than... Does that mean it'll be more powerful than his? I'm now worried for what might happen. "Nimizumi, can you please promise me to not be like the others?" I said, putting my hand on her cheek. "Yes," she yelled. "Hey, Mama, could we go to the garden? There's pretty flowers there," she giggled. God, she's something else, isn't she? Changing her mood just in an instant. That's when she started to pull me through the halls of the mansion. God, I still can't believe how big this place is. Nimizumi called it a palace. Oh, wait till she sees what a palace is. Making her way there, the garden was indeed beautiful, filled with multiple colors of flowers, and decked in the middle center was a fountain. Nimizumi ran to what I think was her favorite flower. It was a blue rose. Wow, I heard they go for a lot. And how many and there's so many. Maybe they're bred here? That could be. God, I played too much Animal Crossing. "Mama, come," she said. She was holding... OMG, is that a spider? She was holding it in her hands. The little thing was dancing. How do I say this, but it looked happy to see Nimizumi. "Nimizumi, is it your friend?" I asked, trying not to sound like I was worried for her entire existence. "I like him," she giggled out. She sounded like she was happy with the idea. "Nimizumi, I don't know if they will allow him," I said, patting her back. "Aw, but..." She started to tear up. I didn't want her to cry, but I didn't want her to be somewhat of a spoiled brat. "I'm going to ask a nice lady," she yelled as she ran towards the door that led into the house. "Nimizumi?" I yelled as I ran towards her, with the little spider still in her hands. As soon as she made it to the main door, or the main hall, she ran into Izu. "Oh, hello, princess," he chimed. She gasped out, "Mean man." She whispered out. Aw, but I did nothing wrong, he teased. Mean man have to gain my trust. She puffed out her little cheeks. I walked up to him. Numizumi is wondering if she can keep this little spider, I said, trying not to worry her. She can, just don't let it into other rooms. But yours, my little princess, he giggled out. That night, I was getting ready for bed. There was a knock at my door. It wasn't the door that was connected to Umizumi's room. It was the hallway door. Come in, I said, looking at the door. Izuku walked in. He looked sad. If you're here to toy with me, then get out, I spat. I'm not, he sniffed. Can we talk? He sniffed out once more. End of Book 1. Season 2. Love? Question mark? Your POV. It's been weird. It's been a couple days since the day where I met that weird girl and Izuku had been nicer. He's been trying to fix our relationship, as he calls it. I don't mind. As long as Numizumi is fine, then so am I. Though Numizumi is not happy that he's spending time with me. He has been eating breakfast, dinner, and supper with me and Izumi, but she had been very close to me. Sometimes he even slept with me. I guess he's trying. Hey Yin, I'm glad that we can have time like this, he said. He was on top of me, his head on my chest. We had been lying there for some time. Heck, once I found out he was asleep, that's how long I've been playing with his hair, which I like. He also liked. I never seen anyone play with it except for me. You know, we can't be like this all day, I said, patting his head. Aw, but I want to, he said, hugging more into my chest. Then the door of my room opened. Mean man, get off mommy, Numizumi yelled as she pounded her little fist on the bed. Numizumi, please, I just want to be with Mama, he said, hugging my chest. Numizumi, please, wait a bit, I said, putting Izu's hair down, and then him getting up to pat Numizumi's hair, which she hated. She since didn't like him for the fact of a dream that what happened in the past. Who'd she know? Well, I don't know. We followed her, found her to the door of my room, and she walked to the living room of the big place. Mama, can we play? She said, putting up a board game in the air. Ooh, can I play? Izu asked. No, the mean man can't play, she said, sticking out her tongue. Meanie, Izuku spat over his breath. I remember this. The two would argue for time with me, but ended up both spending time with me. Then I'll help Mama, Izuku said, putting his pointer finger and sitting next to me as Numizumi put up the board game. We had been playing Clue. She was still scratching at the little information card. As I was already done, she was playing as Miss White. P.S. There's 2 types of clues. The one I'm talking about is where Miss White is young, as a young lady, and not an old one. If you have the older one, sorry. And well, I was playing the character that was a pawn. She called him Mr. Pawn and even made a card for him. Mama, you ready? Because I am, she giggled out. What do you think the killer might be? I asked, and she giggled out. Scarlet. She looks funny to me, she giggled. It's weird for Miss White almost looks the same. Hey, Numizumi, you know your birthday's coming up. Want to celebrate? Izu asked. Numizumi looked at him with a murderous look. I want nothing to do with you, she spat. Numizumi did not normally act this way. It was weird to me. I would rather be in a place full of demons who would eat me alive, she continued. Mama, you go, she said. Time skip. Night had fallen and I was sitting by the fireplace that was in the living room. Numizumi was asleep on my lap with her head on my chest. I feel bad, even if I didn't do what happened in her dream, but I want to make amends with her. I don't want her to hate me, Izuku said as he threw a piece of paper into the fire. He had gotten that from the League. I guess he didn't like the idea of what was on it. Sorry to ask, but what was on the piece of paper? I asked him. He started to walk over and started to pet me, as he liked to call it. Aw, why aren't you purring like you were when you were pregnant? He asked, kissing the top of my head. That was a different time, and I'm not going back to that, I giggled out. Aw, but why not? You were so pretty. Well, you still are. He giggled. I don't want to get pregnant again. It hurt, especially for medical states. Having a baby put me in semi-post-depression, which is bad. I've heard that some new moms have killed their newborns. I'm glad that it was not with me. Numizumi is a smart girl, yes, but too smart for her age. I was wondering if her quirk was showing too soon, or maybe it was just genes. Who knows? Also, thank you for my stepsister for giving that information that was in that text. Yin, are you listening? Izu asked. Oh, sorry. I was in my own mind. I'm sorry, but could you say that again? I asked him. Well, as I was saying, the letter was about the lady you saw yesterday. We don't know her true name, but she's kind of like Dobby. She was called the Butterfly Lady. She wants to join the League, but I don't trust her. She comes from the U.S., and people aren't the nicest to say. I live in the U.S. Sorry if you don't agree. Where I live in U.S., people suck. And well, I don't like the way she acts, he finished. Wow, I don't think I could talk like that. I spoke. That's when I yawned. Yin, let me take you to bed, he said, picking up Numizumi and walking towards my room. He opened the door to my room and walked in and placed Numizumi on the bed, then walked to kiss my cheek and walking out of the room. As I walked to the bed, I could hear Izu leave. Time once more. Or again, sorry. Your POV. It was 4 a.m. Why did I wake up at this time? Oh, I know why. I heard a crash coming down from the hallway. Walking towards the door, Numizumi was still sleeping in my bed. Opening the door, I saw that Izu's office light was on. Walking towards it, I placed my ear on the door to listen what was going on. Why the hell would they do that? It's too early for the plan to go on. It's not finished, he yelled, slamming his fist on the desk. Then I knocked on the door and opened it. Izu? Sorry to barge in, but is everything okay? I asked, walking towards him. He looked panicked. Oh, your hand, I said, holding his hand up. His hand was bleeding. Oh, Yin, I'm sorry. Did I wake you? Is Numizumi still asleep? He asked. Izu, let me treat it, or else it might get bad, I said, looking at his face. I'm fine, as long as you hold my hand, he flirted. Oh, Izu, stop playing, I deadpanned. Sorry, Yin. Could you fix up my hand? He kissed the top of my head. After fixing his hand, he started to walk back to his desk and started to write once more. Izu? Sorry to ask, but what were you yelling about? I asked. Then he turned around and looked at me surprised. Oh, sorry. You have to worry, but the League did something that without my orders. He said, walking towards me and putting his hand on my cheek. Yandere were planning to destroy the world just so All for One could be their so-called king or emperor of darkness. And never mind. He spoke before kissing me. It felt weird sometimes. For what everything happened, it felt weird sometimes being in his, but I still love him as well. And, well, I don't know what to do. It's the past, I guess. Making my way back to my room after fixing Izu's hand, I smiled as I saw Nimizumi asleep. Good, that means she's growing. That means she's going to be more hungry than normal. I still can't believe she slept through that loud ruckus. Great. I sat next to a sleeping girl. I wish she could play with her father, Izu. Flashback. I'm really sorry. I wish I could fix what I did, but it could never be done, Izu said. He was sad that he had to keep Yin and Nimizumi here. He wanted something normal, but he was semi-driven into sanity thanks to two people that could really mess with someone, and he was broken. He wishes that he wishes that oh my god, I'm so sorry. He wishes that Yin and Nimizumi could fix him. And after they left him, he went further into being broken. Izu, I know, I just wished it could never be like this, Yin said, then hugged him tight. He appreciated this affection, but he wished he had his little one with them, but she hated him. She, on the other hand, wanted him to be more like his old self, shy, kind, caring about others. She wished that he wanted to be a hero and not a villain. Flashback end. Nimizumi finally woke up. I think she noticed that I was staring off into the distance, her yanking at the bottom of my skirt. Mama, can we go eat? Nimizumi is hungry, she said, but a bit shyly, picking her up and walking back to the room, towards the stairs, back down. She yawned, and I think she went back to sleep. Goodness, what will I do with her? Now I finally, being in the kitchen and preparing Nimizumi breakfast, that's when I heard Nimizumi wake up again from her little nap. Breakfast? She questioned. Yes. Did the smell wake you? I asked her. Yep, she giggled out. Maybe since you fell asleep you shouldn't get any, I teased her. She gasped. Mama, no, please, Nimizumi will be good. We both giggled as I kissed her head and gave her a plate of pancakes. I, as well, ate some. I could practically see her eyes sparkling at how good they were. I didn't really cool until I was kidnapped by Izu. Deku's POV. What the hell am I gonna do this time? They started the plan without my orders. Now Shigaraki is being turned into a perfect vessel for All for One. Great. Now how am I gonna stop this? I know he's gonna kill Yin and Nimizumi. I can't let it happen.